What's going on, y'all? My name is Nick.
Oh yeah, this is James Eugene, and this is the Eugene brothers. How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. We got a very good episode today. You can see from the thumbnail and the title, it's called 30 Minutes of Women Begging Men to Approach Women Again. And, we've covered this guy's channel before. This is from Dating Right. So please support that brother and his channel. He's doing a very good job. But let's see what these women have to say. All right. Let's see why they want men to approach them again.
My theory on men liking approachable women by appearance continues.
Sitting on the fence, right? A lot of them are choosing not to date. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because you kind of need to know how these men are currently thinking right now, because this will help you with your question. What can we do to make a man that we see and like approach us so that he makes the first move? Well, you have to make him feel comfortable.
I hate when I complain that it's really hard to date because no one approaches me, and they're like, why? Is it because you're intimidating? And I'm like, no, why would you say that? And they're like, well, maybe you have a resting bitch face. And I'm like, no, I'm just fucking autistic.
Struck up a conversation with this girl that was like from Europe, and she was visiting Toronto, and she just was like, by the way, like the men here, they just don't like, they don't approach you, or like they'll find you attractive and just kind of like do nothing. And I was like, yeah, welcome to Toronto, sis.
I don't know what male gym goer needs to hear this, but please come up to us at the gym.
Fellas, they're trying to get us again, man. This is the second girl that's gone viral in the last month, talking about they want men to start approaching again.
I just saw TikTok that said men aren't approaching women, not because they're being told not to by women, but because they're just actually too scared, which is a valid reason. Like, I don't want to go up to people and talk to them, even if I think they're hot. I'm scared too. But the men in his fucking comments being like, well, I'm too ugly. Well, I'm just scared if I do what they're going to say or what they're going to accuse us of. Well, I don't look like Chris Hemsworth, so I can't approach a woman. I'm telling you right now, if you have pure intentions when approaching a woman and you're not trying to be creepy, if you're going up to a woman being like, yeah, I'm going to get some tonight, that's creepy. If you're going up to a woman genuinely.
All right, so I wanted to stop real quick because, James, what's your initial thoughts when you hear this? Like this notion that men are scared to approach women?
I think women ruin the dating scene, and men understand that it's women's fault. Because if you approach a woman, it's either you're a creep, you're ugly, you don't have money, you don't fit my lifestyle, I don't like you. Women messed it up, point blank, period.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with men being scared. I just think men could say the most genuine thing, and with the advent of social media, they're gonna post it online, and now this guy is all over. He's plastered all over the internet just for approaching a woman, and nowhere did that guy ever say straight up, "I'm just trying to get some tonight." Like, ain't no guy doing that, yo. That's cap.
Thinking like, I think she's pretty. Let me see if I could start a conversation. That's different. Like, yeah, you could still get rejected. That's okay. The more comfortable you are doing it and the more confident you get, then you'll do it more. And maybe occasionally it will land.
Get somebody else to do it.
Y'all can ask for our numbers. Ask if we want to go out. If y'all get rejected, that's fine. That's normal. That's human life. But at least you went up and did it. At least you got out of your comfort zone and approached the lady. I mean, we can approach y'all too, but usually we don't, because I don't know.
You see, so why don't
No. That's you see, that's hypocrisy.
Why don't you just do it? If you claiming it so simple, like, oh, I get, this is wild.
It's hypocrisy, because they want men to do all the work and men get rejected, but women, they want to be empowered to reject the man. They don't want to go up to men and get rejected because they don't want to feel like shit. This is why men don't want. This is one of the reasons why men don't want to date women. And not only that, too, you got to think about it. I'm putting myself out there. There's a possibility I might get rejected. If I get a date, there's not a guarantee there will be a second date. You could just be using me for my money and using me to get food, because women have ulterior motives and not all women are good either. So it makes no sense. Women ruin the dating scene, point blank, period.
I know we're young in term, but at some point, us females and men will come to terms of maybe it's both sides.
Why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? Say shout out to the guys who are confident enough to walk up to women. The masculinity on earth has diminished drastically that guys don't even come up to you anymore. They'll just stare at you from a distance. As a woman who's trying to embody her feminine energy, you're not going to catch me going up to the guy. You're just not. We can just stare at each other. Say shout out to the guys who are confident enough to walk up to women, because guys don't do that anymore.
Can we please bring back men coming up to us? Like, why are you so scared? Why are you so scared of coming up to us? Like, genuinely, I don't I get it, like rejection. Okay, I get it. However, if you go up to a girl in a nice way, I don't think you can fail. Like, honestly.
Yes, guys, women doing a lot of projecting is going to be serious in this one. We are continuing to see women post videos complaining about men not approaching women anymore. I'm really glad to see men hold firm and stand their ground and not surrender to the commands and orders of women.
So why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? We don't chase. We signal like, you can come up to me now. But all men do is just look at you now. And of course, like, if the woman is interested, she's going to keep looking your way too. But it just stays like that. Nothing ever happens because men don't walk up to women anymore. Or they're just tired of being rejected. But it's like, if God were to tell you that you're going to go through 20 rejections before you get to your yes, and that's going to be the love of your life, you guys would be so happy to go through all 20 because you would just be so closer to the love of your life.
Manipulation.
That is.
Manipulation.
Bro, she really thinks she's playing chess out here. If God bringing up women, gotta really stop bringing up God in every single conversation. Like, if God told you you were gonna get rejected by 20 women to get your one, stop the cat. We're not buying that shit no more. Look, it makes no sense for a man to approach a woman when, first of all, these choosing signals that she was claiming, they're not very clear. You get what I'm saying? Like, you could have a woman look at you and y'all lock eyes, and if you approach, they can still be like, no. You know what I'm saying? The choosing signal, unless these women make it extremely clear, right, that they really want you, be Ruth. All these women that talk about they want Boaz, be Ruth. Actually make it super duper clear, like Ruth was laying at the feet of Boaz. Give something super duper clear so that men know how to approach.
I think these women that saying men are afraid, no. I think men are just being practical. Because one, not only are men are being rejected for stupid ass reasons, like for height. You gotta take into consideration when we do get married, women initiate more divorces as well. So it's a lose-lose situation whether you in a relationship or when you're married. And this idea that men are afraid, no, men are just being practical. They just they want to save their money and explore the world and actually go overseas to find what love is like over there. American women ruin dating. And remember, they don't need a man. Remember, that's what they said, right? That's what they said. They don't need men. So now this is the repercussions. Men are doing exactly what they said, because there's a thin line between harassment and flirting. And that line is how you look.
Yeah, if they want you or not. Facts.
Especially if you've already made eye contact several times with the girl. If you're out in public and you've made eye contact, let's say you're in the subway or the bus or just walking or getting coffee or something, and you've made eye contact with this girl multiple times, she probably thinks you're attractive. So why can't you just go up to her, just say something nice, compliment her, and then ask her for her number? That's it. Please.
Sometimes I wonder if the dating life was, hey y'all, all the men in the comments are like, oh, I didn't want to get married anyway. Okay, that's fine. Maybe one day you'll find a female and she'll change your mind. Personally, for me, I want to get married, and that's okay. But I'm also getting the comments about, oh, well, y'all said don't approach us. It's also probably the way you guys approach us. Like if we're dancing with our homegirls, you just like come up on us and like just start like doing weird things. Of course, we're gonna be like weird about it. Y'all used to send us drinks. Now y'all just stare at us from across the room.
You see, this is exactly what it is, right? Yeah, I used to send us drink. Again, you're
Money,
trying to extort these dudes for their finances. Come on, man.
money. That's all it is. This is look in this day and age. You know, this idea of transactional sex, everything is transactional. Is this most women are looking after their own interests and they just want finances.
Fact.
And think that we have to approach y'all. What? No.
Get somebody else to do it.
You know what I think is crazy? I had dudes all in my inbox. Beautiful, you fine. I'd love to take you out. Da, 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 right? I'm always by myself. Anytime I'm in Minnesota, I'm typically by myself. So I go downtown, I go out, I go places, and I run into some of these dudes, right? Maybe by themselves. Some of them be with their girl. But when they by themselves, they don't say two words to me. I'm by myself, clearly. I mean, I'll be at Nicollet Diner. I'll be at all these places by myself. And they don't say two freaking words to me. But all that talk in my inbox, which is fine, because I don't want you to say.
Simply because social media and women has made it easier for men to just simply hit them up in the DMs. It's the easiest, laziest approach ever, but it still works. Hit women up in the DM. Quieter is more discreet.
Can we please normalize men coming up to women again? I'm so annoyed that the feminist movement and all these like very entitled females now made it like almost basically impossible for a man to never not seem creepy. And I'm just like, here, like, what the heck? If you don't come up to me, I think you're a weak man. And you may not be. You probably aren't, because it'd be impossible for every man to be a weak man, especially at the gym that I go to. But, damn. The feminists really, really ruined men need things.
You see, and I think this is also important, right? Because notice she's saying, I like the fact that she's taking accountability. Like the feminist movement have ruined a lot of things. And I feel sorry because, like, I think there are genuine women out there who probably don't even align themselves with the feminist jargon, but yet they also are, as a result, suffering from what's taking place where men is not approaching women anymore. Like these women that actually are probably decent, they probably wouldn't blast you on social media or anything of the sort. Now they got to suffer along with the rest of them, all because you had your feminist friends, you know what I'm saying, Me Too friends that's attacking the men.
One thing I don't like what she said, because she exposed herself. She said, if you don't approach me, I think you're a weak man. So again, it goes back to the insults, right? You're always insulting a man. What if the man finds you pretty and he doesn't want to approach you? What if he's looking and he's just like, nah, I don't want that. But why does it have to be weak? Why does it have to be insults? Like these are the things that women are not considering, right? It's always back to men are weak. I don't need you. Oh, you're a creep. It's always these things that are being thrown at men. So men are just like tired. Like, yo, if my existence is that abhorrent to you, why should I date you? Why should I even want to approach you? It doesn't make sense. It's a lose-lose situation for men.
Yeah.
Shame on you, feminists.
Tell me why I get so mad when an ugly man approaches me or tries to hit on me. Like, the audacity, like, stay in your lane. Stay
You
in
see?
your lane.
Who's going to tell her? Who's going to tell her that these men that are hitting on her are absolutely her lane? The majority of women shoot outside of their league because they think that they're more attractive than they actually are. Like, let's be for real. All of us are average. There's a very slim percent of people that are just naturally attractive. This woman, for instance, take away her filter, even in this video, take away her lashes, her lips, all of the things that you can tell that she was insecure about, take it all away and then see how she feels about that inflated ego that she's fucking putting out into the universe. I love how women are so comfortable getting on the internet saying medium ugly this and talking shit about a man's looks, but the reality is that the majority of women's looks can be removed with a makeup wipe. And then you follow it up with this shitty personality that you think that you deserve like a hot man when you have a shitty personality. Men are stepping away from all of this bullshit because they're picking their piece over these women with these inflated egos. And the funny thing about it is that these sense of inflated egos is all fucking bullshit, because you get to know these women and they're the most insecure women. They think they're fat, they think they're ugly, they want a bunch of plastic surgery. So they talk shit about these men because it's basically just a projection about how they feel about themselves.
So I have a genuine question. And if you know me, then you know that this is coming from a loving place. And I promise I'm not a pick me. I'm genuinely concerned. So I was talking.
And this is probably very minute, but like I can't stand when girls have to constantly make that disclaimer that they're not a pick me. I mean, what the hell? Who doesn't want to be chosen? Like, I can't stand when a girl have to make that disclaimer. I mean, shit, do you want to be by yourself for the rest of your life, or do you actually want to be chosen? Because if that's the case, then don't be afraid or ashamed that you're a pick me. You want to be picked. I mean, even guys, when you're on any team, everybody when they do deciding who's gonna be chosen, even guys want to be picked. Like, yo, choose me. Like, nobody wants to be rejected. This idea, I don't want to be a pick me, as if it's so bad because you want to be picked. This is crazy. Now, don't get me wrong, I get the pandering, right? But it's not pandering if you're just simply telling you the truth, right?
To a male friend of mine, and we were talking about this whole trending topic of, men should just leave women alone, period, right? And I feel like it's very divisive. Not gonna lie, I'm just gonna say that I feel like it's very divisive, but I know that he is not allowed to make a video saying these things, so I'm going to say it. If men should not approach women in public, because we're living under the assumption that all men are bad, and women aren't going to approach men because that's just thirsty. What the fuck are we doing? Like, genuinely, what the fuck are we doing? Like, when did all men become bad? Like, and I used the example of I have been treated like shit from men, but I still do not believe that they're all bad. And that's the only example I care to share. However, this conversation is extremely divisive. And my friend would tell me like stories where he would be extremely respectful to women, and they're still very like, ooh, like, leave me alone. Like, are we okay? And I think about that one fucking time I was approached at the gas station, and that shit made my entire fucking day. So if men want to approach a woman, there's almost like that reservation that, no, I'm not going to do it because she probably thinks I'm a weirdo, or I'm a creep, or I'm cringe, or I'm goofy, I'm this, I'm that. But that particular woman might actually be okay with it. But social media has conditioned us to believe that we don't want men approaching us, and men should not approach us because we all think that they're bad. Do y'all realize what this is doing? Like, do you understand the manipulation that this is doing? I don't know, maybe I'm seeing shit from a different perspective, but I do not think all men are bad. I just don't. And I don't understand the logic behind that. But like I said, maybe I'm seeing it from a different perspective, a healed perspective. I don't fucking know.
What's your thoughts, bro?
Her logic is correct. Like I said, women ruin dating. If you say with your mouth, all men ain't shit, I don't need a man. If you go into these bubbles and these echo chambers and women keep saying the same thing, and now you believe it as a woman, right? What are men supposed to do? I'm a man. You said I'm not shit. Okay, fine. You say you don't need me. Okay, fine. So either I stay single by myself or I go somewhere else, right? That makes logical sense. This is why passport bros exist, right? American women kept on saying they don't need the men. And so the passport bro says, no problem. I'm not needed here. Perhaps I'm needed somewhere else. Men like to be feeling useful. We like to be needed.
You know what's crazy? She mentioned a good thing where she said that, men are afraid that maybe they may be viewed as goofy or weird. And she said that, but the thing is, some girls may actually like that, right? And to that,
Bullshit, 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 bullshit.
well, hold on. I was about to say that I actually think it's true. However, this is the problem with social media because majority of women have a herd mentality. They always like to, follow the flock. So what I mean by that is when social media presents what the ideal man should be, sometimes that woman may not even really think that way, but because they are heard like in mentality, because their friends think that that's what a man should be, therefore that's what they also flock to, but that might not genuinely be what they actually are interested in. Some girls actually do genuinely like nerdy dudes. They probably do like anime and all this other stuff, but if all the girls are aiming for, or the ones that's being pushed is the 6 feet, 6 figures, six pack, then all the girls say, "Oh, I guess that's what's accepted in society, so that's what I'll go for." I see you shaking your head.
Look, the only reason why women like good men is because they've messed with the bad guys and now they've got burned and they've got hurt. And this is why they generalize all men is bad, all men ain't shit, because they've been messing with a few select knuckleheads out there. So now they change their opinion and want a nice guy. But now it's too late. That's the reason why they want the nice guy. I'm serious. Follow the patterns of cause and effect. If a woman says all men ain't shit, I don't need a man, it's because they've messed with dumbasses in the past, right?
Yeah.
So now that they've gotten older, they've seen their mistakes, they want to try something new. By the time they want something new, either that guy has moved on and gone somewhere else because he wanted to start a family, right? Or he doesn't want to mess with women because he himself is tainted. Because he himself understands that this type of woman didn't want me. So now he's jaded. That's how it works, cause and effect. It's not a mystery. This is why I said women, they ruined it for themselves.
Well, Miss Tattoo Lady, we appreciate you even bringing up concern about this topic and even trying to get the conversation going. But truth be told, men are over it. Men don't care about this topic anymore. And we are even to the point now where we don't even want to explain this anymore. But she don't have to get all into it too deep. Some men are still out there approaching women, just not all men.
My theory on men liking approachable women by appearance continues. This is the saga of when I look not 100% is when I get hit on the most. This is what I'm wearing to the airport. Okay? Very simple. Nothing crazy. I have had one man propose to me, and yes, propose in front of 100 other people in line. I had another man try talking to me, asking where I live and how is it on that side of the world. Not trying to make small talk because we're in line, but because he was genuinely interested, because he kept turning around, kept looking at me up and down. Not sure if he was waiting for me to be like, yeah, like here's my number or something. No. And right now, one of the golf people that drive through the airport almost like hit a wall and was like, God damn, again, boots aren't showing, body's not showing. I am in lazy clothes, and yet I'm getting hit on or approached more often than not. I also had one of the airport people like talk to me. Yeah, so I don't know what it is, but there is a study that says that men like to approach women that look low maintenance or not as high maintenance. I feel like if I was in heels and a dress, I wouldn't be talked to as much. See,
Let's touch on that real quick because This is a fairly attractive woman, I would say, right? And I actually agree with her. I think there is an aspect to it where some of these women that tend to look high maintenance, I think usually come with a particular attitude on average, right? Because if you, and I think what it is the superficiality, right? Like if you only care about your appearance, usually that comes with a woman that's very base minded, maybe not the most intelligent, maybe can't really hold a conversation. They probably only care about your money. And I think a lot of guys are turned off to that. So they're looking at it like, yeah, it's already tough as it is to approach women. So this woman in particular, yeah, I'm definitely gonna pass on that.
I
Versus a
mean,
woman that looks more down to earth, that's kind of like, okay, you know what, maybe she might not be so superficial, right? Maybe she might not be as shallow. Maybe I could actually engage her in a conversation and it might go well. What's your thoughts?
ask yourself, why are men saying they want to do coffee dates? What's the reason for that?
They don't want to invest too much, huh?
Why they don't want to invest too much?
I mean, they've been abused and abused for years.
Right. So it's just like, okay, I'm gonna ask this woman out, right? She gets a free meal, right? Typically, she gets a free meal. The man has to pay for everything. Now, is she genuine about him, or was she using him? He could put on his best and still not get a second date. So that's $200, $300, depending on what city you're in, right? Let's say $100 to $300 on the first date, just to not get a second date. That money could have been used for rent, could have been used for groceries, could have been used for supplies, to propel your dreams, to invest in stocks. But no, he's investing it in this girl just to get a rejection. So you see why men are being more practical and say, you know what? Let's go for the coffee date instead. If I like your personality, I like your personality. Another thing too, women like to reject men because it boosts their ego. Got to understand that. They like men approaching them, but they also like because of the validation it brings them. But that doesn't mean they want you. It just boosts their egos. It's think of it like social media. You like a picture on Instagram, they get inflated. Oh yeah, obviously I look good, right? Because I'm getting all these likes and I'm getting all these comments. It's the same thing in real life. Men are approaching me, but I don't want them. I'm going to reject them. It boosts their egos because they have the power to do so. So this is why it's this game, this dating game is not genuine. It's fake. And men see through the fakeness.
Yeah. I guess to land the plane, fellas, hold the line. Yeah. I think this is right here. I think it's proven that what men are doing by no longer simping, it's working. A lot of the women are starting to complain. A lot of the women are starting to get nervous. And you know what I'm saying? They starting to start shaking because they realize the gig is up. And if they really want a partner, which they do, right? All that I don't need a man rhetoric is bullshit. They want men. So if they truly want a man, I think is if we wait out just a little bit longer, hold the line just for a little bit longer, we're gonna start to see a shift where women are actually gonna be like, fuck it. And it's actually sad because then women will be in a place where they have to choose, which is that masculine? I don't necessarily think so. I just think that it's just being straightforward. Like if you know what you want, go after it, right? Again, I keep bringing up Ruth. As much as women want to say, I'm trying to look for my Boaz, it's amazing how they never actually understand how Ruth obtained Boaz. Boaz didn't approach her. Ruth approached Boaz. But you have any final words, bro?
My final words would be, I really don't know. I really don't know, honestly, because the first thing I would say is the gender war has to stop. I think that's the biggest problem. This men versus women ideology or this thought process needs to stop. Once it stops, men and women will start dating and hopefully they start dating for people's character, right? And I'm really trying to find like viable, wholesome advice that would change things around. Because it's really not about, if you're dating somebody, it's supposed to be about the character of the individual, how they make you feel, right? It's like the superficial shit doesn't really matter. It's about character. And the reason why the superficial shit doesn't matter is because we're all going to die. So life was meant to be spent with people that you genuinely love, you care about, people that are on your team. None of the other stuff really matters at the end of the day. It's always been about connection, because that's what humans were designed for. Because we live in communities. It's always been about connection. So that's the only thing I can offer. And hopefully women and men realize that.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I'll just say, once again, the video was by the YouTuber Dating Right. Please support him and his channel. He's doing a pretty phenomenal job. If you guys like the video, please like, subscribe, comment down below, do all that YouTube stuff. And with that being said, Nick James over and out. Jesus is King, y'all.